I don't know.
It's very rude.
It is so rude, but if the shoe fits. So how are you? How are you feeling? You look absolutely gorgeous. Doesn't she look gorgeous?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm feeling good. Yeah.
All right.
Just a little
The miracle of life. Thank you, Lord. Another beautiful baby coming into our lives. It's amazing. I mean, the Once family, you know what I mean? We are a growing concern.
Well, yeah, we just keep making more.
Should I get you a little table out here? All right, 1 second, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't really want to, yeah.
I love you!
Thank you. Yes, table, please. How is everyone? How are you dancing? Thank you for coming. Hopefully I can answer some cool questions. Or cool answers for, I'm sure, good questions. I'm so happy to be here. I'm really lucky too. I think today's the only day we've got rain. The next few days will be really nice. So I'm excited. Oh, look at that. That's a big table. I can sit on that. No, I won't. Don't worry. Like, no. Thank you.
All right, guys, enjoy. I'll be right back.
All right.
Let's hear it one more time for Emily!
All right. Who has some questions? Where are we doing questions from? Sorry, I can't see it. I'm like half blind. Does anyone know? Oh, over here. By the red spider wall. What is that? Oh, it's leaves. Are they? It's four. Four leaves.
Hi. So I just finished rewatching season 2, and I gotta tell you, I really fell in love with Lacey. She's such a distinct character. She's really bold and funny. Yeah, she is. And even for the few episodes that she was around, she did so much for Belle's character and Once Upon a Time as a whole. So I was wondering, what do you think it would be like if Belle and Lacey interacted, like had a sitcom together?
That would be hard work for me. I always envy people. I'm like, oh my god, you're playing two characters. That's crazy. It is actually crazy. But that'd be fun. That'd be cool, actually, wouldn't they? They'd be able to give each other some good life lessons, wouldn't they? And then create, like, between them, they would create, like, the perfect superhuman Belle version of themselves. Yeah. I like that. I'm glad, yeah, season 2 is a good... I think season 2 might be my favourite season. It's a good one. Cool. Thank you. We're doing the average of these ones.
Hi,
Let's
Emily.
fall over here, too.
So you have a beautiful daughter, and I was wondering, like, what was her reaction when she found out she was going to be a big sister?
Well, she told me I was pregnant. That's how perceptive I am. I was rushing around doing a lot of, we were doing a lot of European travel, and we were doing some conventions over there, and I'm just kind of like a bit off because we're traveling and whatever, we're playing like tummy games, like we're doing like raspberries on like mom and dad and her, and she's like, there's a baby in there. I'm like, that baby in yours. Like, no. I'm like, there's a baby in daddy's. I'm like, no. She's like, there's a baby in there. And she told me it was a boy too, because I just initially thought, I'm like, I have a girl, probably have another girl. Most of my friends who have kids have like 2 of the same or 3 of the same. So I was like, there's a little girl, you're gonna be a big sister to a girl. I was like, no, the boy. And she was super excited, and she still is. So hopefully, I hope this is wood, or at least wooden content. She's really excited. She's got like a little big sister dress, and she's like, I'm gonna wear my big sister dress when he's born. Yeah, she's a sweet girl. So, what part 2 of it's like, fingers crossed. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Who inspired you to become an actor and why?
Ooh, a lot of people, not like one specific person. If there was one that stood out to me, it would be Audrey Hepburn. And I think part of that is just her philosophy on life and all the wonderful work she did, aside from acting, but just, just which shone through to me in her acting. A lot of older actors, though, because I used to watch a lot of old movies when I was little. But and then I guess when I started, like the people that I thought were doing really cool, fun stuff, like Nicole Kidman, because she's Aussie too, Naomi Watts, and then Reese Witherspoon, and people who always were trying to push themselves to do something a little different too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Tomby, and I know that you've been on every season of the show. And when I think of Once Upon a Time, you're one of the first people that I think of. And I was just wondering, what's one of your favorite memories with the cast?
In what way? Like a scene or
Anything.
anything? There's a lot of a general fun memory was night. We did a lot of night shooting in the forest up in Vancouver, which looked so pretty, but it was kind of hard. It was so bloody cold. But those moments when you're in a group setting with a lot of people who you really like, and it's really cold and you're really tired and it's really late and you're drinking way too much coffee and just those sort of bonding moments. And it wasn't just one moment, you know, it became sort of just, you know, like a really nice little comfort zone. Like, okay, you know, this is going to be a all-night thing, but you've got some wonderful people to share it with, and just, yeah, that's what sticks out to me. Thank you.
Hi. When you came back on for season 7, what was your initial reaction to realizing your character was going to die?
I was really excited because it was in such. I'd never aged myself up like that either, or at all. But that was, you know, that was really aging her, and in such a short time. Like, when, you know, each episode's about 42 minutes. So, and obviously not all that is even focused on one person. It's sort of spread through the characters. So it was a really fun challenge to be able to try and give this evolution and this arc to, especially having played her for 6 years. There was so much history there. That was exciting, and it was I was a little scared, you know, of how, you know, is this going to work out? Is it, you know, playing and how I think I would be, you know, when you're older. But it was cool, and be able to give her closure too, and give them closure together. I hope. Did you like it? Did you cry?
No.
Yes.
No? Damn it! Cry! We'll reshoot it. No. A bit late now, I guess. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Alana.
Hi, Alana.
I was wondering, what do you hope was the biggest impact you left on all of us oncers?
Ooh. One of the biggest messages that I think I can speak for everyone, but for me, was, and why Adam and Eddie wanted to do this. You know, the show is about, yes, it's a show about, you know, fictional fantasy characters, but, you know, it's a show about hope and the reality of life and giving hope in sort of every spectrum of the situation. So that would be my biggest gift if it's given anyone hope, and I think it has, which is so beautiful, and bonding. You know, I love more than anything with other stuff I've done too, but especially this show, that the stories of families that watch together, and it's a show that, you know, you can watch as a child, but you can also watch with your parents and your grandparents and friends, and bringing people together is a really cool thing to be able to be a part of. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mia, and I just want to tell you, it's been a year since Beauty aired today.
Oh, really? Today?
Yeah. And I was also wondering where you got your outfit from. It's really nice.
Where I got my what? My outfit?
Yeah, good dress.
Oh, where did I get my dress? I think it's Isabel Oliver. She makes cute little maternity. It's hard finding stuff that's, because like a lot of things just go out and you're like, you look like a bit of a tent. Other stuff's just mine. Thank you though. Thank you. Hello.
Hi Emily, I'm Bree. I'm Bree. I was wondering, what's one of the funniest moments you've had with the cast?
The funniest moment for me was looking like I was as pregnant as I was now. I am now? Oh God. That's called pregnancy brain. When you're pregnant, you lose half of it. You do. It's a real thing, you guys. If there's anything I say that you're like, what? I'm not to blame. You can blame him. All your energy is going to making this little person. When I looked like this with my daughter, aka is pregnant, we shot the scene where Bobby's character was telling me I was pregnant because he'd seen it in, I forget which episode it was, because he'd seen it in the ball, magic ball. Is that the right word? Ball. Yeah. Crystal ball. Crystal ball. So he was telling me, I think I was even a little bigger. We had to be standing really close because it was a tight frame shot. My stomach's touching him because we're that close. I'm holding Zelina's infant like here, and he's like, I'm pregnant. That's definitely the best one. If it's not, he was the worst. Is that really, you guys? Thank you.
My name is Isaac, and I was just wondering who's your favorite Once Upon a Time character and why?
If I what's my answer? Pregnancy brain.
My name is Isaac, and I was just wondering who's your favorite Once Upon a Time character and why?
Rumpelstiltskin, because he's just such a layered character. There's so much, and it's not just him. You know, meaning like Mr. Gold, Rumpelstiltskin. I mean, every sort of part of what he had to play, and Bobby just did it perfectly. But so much fun to watch. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Hi. I want to know, what is your favorite scene that you've ever shot on the show and why?
I mean, in a way, her dying, even though it was like ridiculously sad and emotional, it was like a challenge, and it was such a cool moment too, because it was the quietest our set, at least for me, that I'd ever heard. It was just not a peep out of anyone, because everyone was either off just trying to not cry and be respectful, and because it was a long scene. It was longer than what it was too, just cut into a little bit, I think. And just even though it was sad, it was beautiful too. It was really gorgeous the way they wrote that scene, and that we got to play it so intimately. Yeah, thank you.
Hi. I was wondering, what's your dream vacation?
Oh, can I have it now? Yeah, sure, let's have some. I mean, right now, it's constantly changing, because there's a lot of places I want to go. I love traveling. There's a lot of places I have been, but a lot of places I have not been. I'd like right now to go to the Maldives in about, when we're done with the day. So like early afternoon we could get going. If anyone's interested. It just sounds really nice right now. Even though I live in California and it's been so hot still there right now. It's a different heat when you're like on a beautiful beach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. If you could be another character besides Bill, who would you be?
I would be, well, two characters that there's no way I'd ever get hired to play. They're Cruella or Rumpelstiltskin. Just the allure of Cruella for me is, the allure of her is just that there's not really anything good. It's just fabulously evil to the extent that you get to play so much with it. Like, you don't have to try and validate it at all. It's like, I'm just a bad person, you know? And so cool, and Victoria was amazing at her, and oh my god, I love her to death. But, and Rumpelstiltskin kind of just, because his character is written so well, and he did such a beautiful job, and there was an endless excitement of, as an actor, being able to do something different and creative all the time. Thank you.
Hi, I love you.
Me too.
So my question is, if you weren't acting, what would your career be?
Now, I don't know, I would have always used to say ballet, and maybe that is what it would be, because that was what I'm molting. Maybe, yeah, I mean, I guess, because I was dancing right up until I started acting. Or a vet, maybe, something with animals. That's what I wanted to do. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Hi.
I was wondering how many teacups you broke in order to shoot the one scene.
Which one? The initial little chip drop? I don't. God, it's years ago. You're talking about in the first episode I did, right? Yeah? I don't know that we even broke one. I think we always did it. I think they were always the magic of TV, pre-broken, pre-chipped, because they had to look the same each time. And if I was there's no way I could chip it like that. That's like movie magic chip. Yeah, I smashed the whole thing, but I had to sort of do it so that it was hidden to the camera lens when I did it, and then pick it up the other way, kind of to reveal the chip. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Maggie, and I just want to say how much of an inspiration you've been to me. And my question is, what was your first reaction when you met the whole Once Upon a Time cast?
I met them all. I didn't meet them all together. I've got to say, everyone I met on this show, individually or as a group, is just a good human being. Like, it's a really cool group of people. And a lot of people I guess I've met before too, because there's a lot of people that crossed over from the show I did before, from Lost, that had come on, whether it be a guest or a regular or whatever, like Bex, or like, I mean, even Lana I knew like back in the day before and hadn't seen her for a while, and there's a lot of that too, which was kind of fun and nice. But yeah, a lot of just cool, nice, genuine people. And maybe part of that's too when you shoot, for me at least, when you shoot on a location. The majority of our cast were from Vancouver, and we were there, so it brings people together in a different way when you're away too. Thank you.
Hi. What was it like being one of the only main characters without magic?
That's a good question. What do you mean? That was totally. Yeah, I liked it in a way because it was something that she almost had to. Her strength and her confidence in herself almost was her magic. You know, she kind of it takes especially being in a relationship with someone like Mr. Gold, for instance, that having a full heart and a smart brain was kind of how she got through, I think, most of the situations that she was in, without having something to fall back on and just fix something, click of the fingers. But it would have been fun. I would have loved to do this. Sorry. Hi.
Hi Emily, I'm a big fan, and I was just thinking, obviously, I know you were just talking about Lost. What do you think Claire would be doing now, in the future?
She's in the Maldives. I don't know what she'd be doing now. I think, I don't know, I was thinking about this, I don't know why. About 6 months ago, someone asked me that, not at a convention. It was like a friend, we were having this theoretical Lost conversation. And something in sort of the community service world with children is what I came up with.
Nice, I like
Maldives. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi. First of all, you're amazing and I love you. And second, if you could spend a day with any of the Once Upon a Time characters, who would it be, why, and what would you do?
What would we do? think a holiday. I think we should. Mel does. I think we should. That's like my answer for everyone's question from now on. I'm working for tourism, Mel. I don't know, like a holiday episode. That, well, like secret cameras, like a reality version. Just everyone going on a holiday somewhere, going camping. That'd be camping with all these characters would be fun. I don't know. Just not too much of a factor. Hi.
Hi, Emily. I have been a fan of you since Roswell. I kind of hated you in Roswell, sorry.
That's good.
I know.
If you liked me, I would have been doing a pretty crappy job, so thank you.
But out of your three characters, Tess or Claire or Belle now, which one has been your favorite, if you have one, and why?
Out of just those three?
Well, those are one of your favorite shows. And
What?
You've been in them, so.
I think they're all so different, you know? I guess, I really don't know. It's such a hard thing to answer, because even Roswell, that was, a long time ago now. There was so much I loved, and I kind of learned a lot. That was a shorter, it was only like a couple of years on that one, but, when you play a character for a while, you find yourself learning some cool stuff about yourself, and I don't know, I really don't know how to pick between Claire and Belle, because they're, more recent and more impact on me. I can't pick.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi.
Hi, Emily. My name is Kaya, and I was wondering what was the funniest or most embarrassing thing that happened to you on set?
I broke a clock again when I was pregnant, so I can blame. I scared myself more than anyone else, and everyone was like, "Oh, we have to redress this now." The clock's broken. In Mr. Gold, there's always a ton of stuff, right? In Mr. Gold's shop, and they move things. I'll blame them too. They move things around. You're like, well, that wasn't there before. So there was some, I don't know, like a little, like this kind of table-y killer thing that had a clock on it. I don't know. I was talking to Barbie in the scene, and I have to turn around, and I was pregnant, and I'm still not very good with spatial awareness, apparently. I don't know how I was a ballet dancer, and that's good. Like, I have no idea how, because I'm very clumsy. Otherwise, without direction, I guess. And so I totally just, I would have fit if I wasn't pregnant, and just totally hit this sort of really gorgeous little antique grandfathery clock off the thing, just the whole thing smashed. That was kind of embarrassing. Like breaking things. Yeah. Hi.
Hi. So, as we all know, Belle is probably one of the most iconic Disney princesses, one of the first independent Disney princesses. And what was it like to portray a character like that?
Yeah, you're right. It's yeah, because everyone else is sort of cartoned off. I mean, that was what I loved about her, and what I still love about her, and I kept sort of trying to drive that point through of, independence and self-love and self-motivation and, not needing to have a counterpart to make you who you are who you are because of you. And influences will alter that, but not create it. So challenging. It's like the more you like something and admire something, especially if you're trying to recreate on a certain level, like it's fearful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Emily, my name is Blessing, and I know this song random, but do you sing in the shower, and what song do you sing?
Do I sing in the shower? Not really. Wonder how that became a thing. Is it just because it's private, I guess? The acoustics, true, good point. Unless you have a open shower. And you don't have any, but that's not normal. Okay. Don't worry about me. I sing to him too. I'll sing songs to the baby in the shower, actually. So like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Some really elevated choices here. No, I remember I used to sing that in the shower to Vera and like wonder what you are. And I don't know. It was like a time to sing to them when you're pregnant. It's like a calming time. But no, do you sing in the shower?
Yes.
What do you sing?
I listen to K-pop.
Ooh, that's a good idea. We should start doing that. I don't know. I feel like I need some music playing for me to sing to. I'm not a, I'm not a singer that's just going to burst out and have an amazing voice like some of the people you guys get to listen to tonight or last night, tonight, right? Tonight. Both. See, you guys are so lucky. You don't want me. I'm not one of those people, but I love music and love singing, but not at that capacity. Hello.
I'm so I was just watching this on this podcast.
Sorry, sweetheart, I can't quite hear you.
Sorry. I'm Emily and I'm so nervous right now. Okay. Hi. So I want to know who your favorite Disney character, like Disney princess was. It doesn't matter. Like, who was your favorite Disney character before and after Once Upon a Time?
That's a good question. Like I've said in the past, I didn't grow up as a kid really watching Disney movies. Don't really know why. I liked more either older movies, old movies, or adult stuff. But not like I just was never. I was never really an animation person. I am much more now than I used to be. Maybe because of the show, partially. Yes, as far as Disney characters, I mean, it would be Mary Poppins for me. Who I still love. I started watching that again with my daughter. And that's such a good movie. New one's coming out too, isn't it? But now, there's so many that I didn't even know existed now. I mean, I love Belle, of course. I have like an affinity with her because I learned so much about her. But I don't know, it might still be Mary Poppins, who I wish we had on the show. That would have been cool. I still wish. Season 8. Hi.
Hi, Emily. My name is Maddie, and this may seem super random, but waffles or pancakes?
Isn't that always a toss-up? Because sometimes the waffles are better than the pancakes, and sometimes the pancakes are better than the waffles. It depends what kind of pancake. Like a crepe pancake, or like a thick, fluffy one?
Thick and fluffy.
I might go waffles, but then because I really like crepes, but only if they're not really chewy. Or pikelets. Have you ever had pikelets?
No.
These tiny little, not dollar pancakes. I think that's what they call them, right? Pancakes are like that kind, but like tiny little ones, and you make them in like this cast iron pan on the top of the stove that's got little spots for them. They're really good. I want some now in the mouth.
Hello. I just had a question. That being, given the difficulties Rumpelstiltskin and Belle faced during their relationship, as well as the difficulties they faced as individual characters throughout the series, I was wondering your feelings as to their happy ending.
Yeah, they faced a lot of shite, didn't they? I do think that through it all, there was always an actor. There was always a resolution. It was never something that was. It was never something that was forgiven and forgotten and just not dealt with. You know, a lot of things. There were things that were kind of brushed under the carpet a little bit, as is life. You know, you kind of have to accept some things if you're going to be in a relationship. But they both chose to be in too. You know, there's a lot of people who are like, well, you know, why would she? She was never held captive. You know, in Storybrooke by him. You know, it was a chosen relationship. So, I think they learned a lot from each other. You know, as much as the spotlight was turned on him learning, you know, to be kinder and more loving and, you know, understanding from her. There's a lot she learned from him too. You know, there was a lot of strength that came out in her because of him, I think.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I really love you. And I was wondering what you thought a friendship between Selena and Belle would look like.
Well, they had a little friendship going on, kind of. But not, yeah. And we were always like joking about, we're going to go to a spin-off together. You know, Belle on the back of the broomstick. We should still do that, hey? Yeah. In the mountain with pikelets. It's getting good, this show. I'm not sure who's going to pick the show up. ABC? Hello. So we have an idea. They're like, okay. Thank you.
Hi. So I'm from England, and I wanted to know who's your favourite English actor or actress and why?
Who's my favourite? Oh, there's so many people that are so good at what they do. On the younger side, I'm a big Emma Watson fan. I think she's amazing. But Helen Mirren, she's all right. A little bit of talent there. Yeah, she's awesome. Thank you, honey. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, I was thinking the other day, and I decided to ask, what do you think that Belle would do if she was the dark one, and how would Rumple react?
Oh, he would freak out. Don't you think? He wouldn't know what to do. Yeah, I know, that would have been fun to play. It would have been really interesting if she was, actually. You know, for a brief moment or whatever. Just because of them having their relationship. How would he deal with that? You know, would he be able to shut off the fact that he loved her and their history and everything? Or, you know, to just deal with who she'd become? I don't know. I think it would really throw him. And it would maybe put a different light on how your emotions affect you in panic mode. And I think you do too well. Yeah, maybe that can happen in the Selena spin-off. Now Dad's perfect episode.
Hi Emily, I'm Stefania. Victoria, my daughter's out there. Belle is her absolute favorite character.
Oh.
And yeah, no, she's great, and I adore you as well. And the relationship with Rumpelstiltskin was one that hit home with me because I myself identified with trying to find the man behind every beast. And I wanted to know what it was like to play that woman of strength, and what was your relationship like with Offset as well?
Offset, we're great friends. I love him. He's such a sweet, funny as hell guy. He's amazing. Yeah, it's interesting because it was a struggle. It was a constant struggle to play that strength, though, because there's still the genuine, soft, original side to Belle. Who, you know, yes, she was always a strong character. She was always, you know, whip smart and confident within who she was, but at the same time, there was a passiveness that I kept trying to kind of had to keep to a degree. Had to keep some sort of whimsical appeal to her, and some sort of, you know, femininity as a character. But I don't know. It was a good constant struggle, but without trying to be just always the one that's forgiving. You know, as wonderful as forgiveness is, you know, in real life, in the show, in every aspect, forgiveness is it's really hard at times, and to not sort of give that in undue course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was so real to life, so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Appreciate it.
Hi, Emily. I
Hello.
love you so much. And I wanted to say, you said your favorite Disney character was Mary Poppins. Did you embody any characteristics from her with Belle?
I don't know. Not really. I mean, I didn't try to for any reason, but I suppose they had sort of a. They both definitely have a positivity about them. You know, Mary Poppins is just a little bit more confident in herself, I think. But yeah, I suppose the positivity is a good parallel with that. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
My name's Emily too.
Hey, Emily.
I was wondering what it was like to find out that you were going to be on the show and work with Adam and Eddie again, and like how you found out about being on this one, like the audience for that.
How it happened? Yeah, because they wrote. Well, I didn't know this. So Adam and Eddie, I knew that they wrote a ton of the episodes for Lost, right? So I'd known them for a long time, but I didn't realize, and I'd kind of forgotten because it was 6 years later. They were the ones who really, developed Claire's backstory and stuff too. They called and just asked me to come and sit down with them and have a meeting about doing an episode. Hey, do you want to play Belle? It's a movie with Robert Carlyle. I didn't know Bobby, but big fan of his work. And I was like, yeah, of course. And loved them and loved that. I don't know if I'd even seen the... I'm trying to think if the pilot had aired at that point. It might have just been about to. It was like, right, because that was only episode 11, I think? Or something like that, in season 1 that I did. But yeah. So it just kind of happened organically, and it was just going to be that one, and then they're like, oh, that worked out really well, and kept going. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Emily. I'm Scotty. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you, Scotty.
No problem. So what was it like working with Bobby Carlyle, and were you afraid of him when he was on set in costume as the Beast?
No. You would be as a kid, though. They're pretty creepy sometimes. No, I was never afraid of him, but working with him was great. He was always my favourite to work with because he's just he would elevate what I could do. If you're working with someone that's really committed and really good at what they do, I think this. Personally, I think is true in any kind of line of work. That if you're observing or working with someone or shadowing them or whatever who's awesome at what they do and just committed and giving and positive, it's going to make you better. And so it's just always a lot of fun. Lovely guy. Love him. Listen.
Hi, my name is Lucy, and I want to know when you moved to the United States and do you miss Australia?
Oh, Lucy, yeah, I do. I miss home a lot. I moved half my life ago. I'm very old. I moved when I was 18. I didn't think I was going to move, though. I kind of was visiting for a job. I had worked one job back home and got called in because they thought I lived here and ended up doing that job, and that job kept me here. But I go home. It was a lot more. I used to go home like 2-3 times a year, but I get home once, maybe twice a year now because it's far and it's expensive and it's like finding the right time. I don't want to go home for just a week. I do sometimes, but you want to have 2-3 weeks or something. But yeah, I love home. I don't know. It'd be nice to like split time there maybe in the future. When I'm even older. Thank you.
Hi. I wanted to know if the role you played on TV affected your life in any way.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, just thinking about like, okay, so you go to work and you're doing 10 hours of work or something that's sad. You don't come home and be like, yeah. It was a good day, but it puts you in a different mental state. So overall, I guess I was happy that with this show I was playing somebody that was generally well, she was dealing with a lot of stuff, which brought up a lot of things for me, but generally had a positive attitude, you know. So it got me thinking of if you're playing like a really crazy psychopath as a character for a long period of time, it can really get to people's psyche, you know, because you have to, if you're going to do and you're really going to embody that character, it takes a lot to try and kind of, you know, separate that when you're, you know, 6 hours off sleeping. But, so, Belle was probably a good influence on me. Thank you. That's a good question.
Hi. In season 4, when Isaac wrote Heroes and Villains, most people got the chance to like swap places, but you stayed Belle. That being said, was it ever disappointing that through all 7 seasons you never got to really play evil?
Yeah, because it was really just Lacey, and she wasn't evil, she was just sort of naughty. You know, she sort of just didn't have very good morals and ethics. Yeah, it would be fun. I haven't played that much evil recently. Yeah, maybe I should do something really evil next. I mean, I wasn't upset about it, but, I don't know, a little bit maybe. It would be fun.
Thank you.
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Have you ever run into one of the other Once Upon a Time characters offset?
Have I ever, like, without expecting it?
Yeah.
I guess I have. Especially when we were working all up in the same city, we'd see each other quite a bit. So, yeah. And a lot of people from the show are friends now, so that's, I guess, that's not unexpected, though, if you plan it. I don't, like, stalk them. That would be weird. Thank you.
Hi, I love you, and I was wondering, what was your favorite scene in the film?
My favourite scene to film was still what I was saying before, probably her dying. I mean, there's other stuff too that I've loved and moments I've loved, but maybe just because that's more recent too, it's more in my mind. But yeah, I like that scene.
Thank you.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Hi Emily, my name's Courtney. I was wondering, how did it differ for you filming Lost versus filming Once Upon a Time, considering the vastly different filming locations?
Yeah. That alone changed it a lot. I don't know, both. I get the similarity though. Both big casts. A lot of people coming and going all the time. You know, that makes a massive difference to a show where you're just like. But yeah, the location was the biggest thing probably. Apart from the characters were different, but just what you're dealing with. Your surroundings affect me a lot, so it would affect the way you're living your life as well. Thank you.
You're so giggly today. Did we enjoy that, everyone? All right. Thank you, Emily. So great to see you. Love you. So good to see you, babe. All right, let's hear it.